Welcome back, Word Explorers! Have you ever wondered what makes a word tick? Today we're diving into the word different using structured word inquiry, a method that lets us peel off the elements of a word and discover its meaning and structure. Whether you're curious about spelling, meaning, or how words are connected, SWI helps us uncover it all. So let's jump in and see what makes different, well, different. You might have seen students spell this word D-I-F-R-E-N-T, and there's a good reason for that. Let's investigate and find out what's going on. The first step is to identify the base of the word. The base is the part of the word that holds the core meaning. In the word different, the base is F-E-R. This comes from the Latin root ferre, which means to carry or to bear. At this point, we can see the word does not have a double F. One F belongs to the prefix and the other belongs to the base. By identifying F-E-R as the base, we can connect this word to others like transfer, refer, and prefer, which all share the idea of carrying or bearing something. Once we find the relatives we would like to include in our study, we're ready to build a matrix, the mother of the word family that holds them all together. Then we're all ready to dive into the spellings using word sums and sentences. At this stage, the lesson is tailored to the individual needs of the child or classroom. You may stick to the basics, or you may decide to incorporate grammar by analyzing what each relative is doing in each sentence. Let's take a look at the prefix. The word different begins with DIF, which is a variant of the prefix DIS. The prefix DIS often means apart or away, so in this case, DIF suggests the idea of carrying away or being set apart. This tells us that when something is different, it's carried away or distinguished from something else. Lastly, we have the suffix ENT. This suffix is used to form adjectives, and it's used to describe someone or something that performs a particular action or has a certain quality. In this case, ENT helps form the adjective different, describing something that is distinct or set apart. Now that we've broken the word down into its parts, we can see how different fits into a larger word family. Words like prefer, offer, transfer, and refer are all related because they share the base FER, which has the core meaning to carry. By using structured word inquiry, we see that different is part of a network of words connected by both meaning and structure. Understanding these relationships helps deepen our knowledge of the word and how it works in English. Notice that the spelling of the word different helps to tell us its meaning. The base FER is spelled the same way in different as it is in its morphological relatives. This shows that the spelling of English words preserves their meaning, even when pronunciation changes. Now it's time to ask question 4 of Structured Word Inquiry. What are the letters doing? This question helps us look at each letter in the word to understand its role in preserving both meaning and structure. Let's examine how the letters function in different. The word different has 9 single graphemes. D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-T. The D spells D in different. The I spells I in different. The F spell F in different. The first E is not pronounced. It's zeroed in different. This is why many people spell it incorrectly if they're taught to sound it out. The R spells in different. The E spells in different. The N spells in different. Finally, the T spells T in different. Although we don't release the T when we say it in a sentence. That one's different. Our tongue stays in the place where the T is pronounced, but we don't feel the puff of air that we feel when we pronounce T in isolation. So as we see, even though not every letter in different is pronounced, each grapheme still plays an important role in preserving the structure and meaning of the word. Some graphemes, like the T and the first E, may go unnoticed in everyday speech, but they're still there doing their part, even when we don't feel them while speaking. This is yet another example showing us that written English is not simply speech written down. Remember, every letter has a job, even when it isn't spelling a phoneme. And that's the beauty of written language. What we see isn't always what we feel or hear, but it always makes sense when we investigate. From this point, there are many different possibilities for activities you may choose to practice and review, from playing word games to reading a passage. Games can be a fun way to review that is also rewarding for children, and of course, we want their new knowledge to be applied to reading and spelling. So that's how we use structured word inquiry to explore the word different. We analyzed its structure, the prefix DIF, the base FER, and the suffix ENT. Together, the denotative meanings tell us that different describes something that is carried away from something else. By understanding the structure of words through SWI, we can learn more about their meanings and structure and how the word families work across the writing system. We form an understanding of graphemes and phonemes and other functions graphemes can have in spellings. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and let words show you the way with structured word inquiry.